this lady who called me, she's going through another way. And what I have gone through is very, very different than anybody. And some of the things I have gone through, I have trouble writing about them because I cannot write them. And so I don't know how I will do that, but maybe that's why I'm getting moved away. It's very hard. Nick has helped me a lot in this. First he got me introduced to you. Then he...
Nick helped you a lot.
No, but Nick helped in a very different way. He brought me this Teachings of Don Juan by Carlos Castaneda, and he brought me all the books of those, Then he brought me Kali's Odia, which is a very different field. Very few people go through that. It's like tied to the voodoo, but it's a ghoris in India. And he brought me that book. And I read that book, and it's what they call gruesome book. I'll give you one example in that book is that this guy who wrote the book, his name is Amranand Bhairav. They are not considered good people in India, People try to avoid them because they have these powers and they can... they misuse it, and not only misuse, they can harm you. So people are afraid of them. Misuse the powers,
Oh.
They can if I want to hurt you or something,
Like a black magic?
Yeah, it's just like black magic, yeah.
Oh.
So... So I read that book, and he asked me whether it's real or it's not that real. Okay. So and I read it, and I said, no, it's totally real. This guy is real. Let's find out who he is. So we called the book publisher, and we found out that he is a dentist, because in the book he says in the end he goes to dental school, and he lives in Laguna Niguel.
Oh, okay.
And and he works in the Kali temple, which is the Kali temple, with dead bodies. So, and actually after I read the book, I got totally disturbed. In other words, this meditation, everything went haywire. And my mind I started getting these dreams. And so I said, I have to visit this Aghori in India. So I went there, and my mother said, no way you're going to go meet the Aghori. I'll come with you. So we went together to this place, Banaras, and he took me. I hired a guide, and I said, you have to take me to this ashram, otherwise I won't hire you. So he said, I'll take you there. So he took me there, and my mother was with me. And he gave me some bhuti, they call red. Yeah, it's like dust. It's a havan dust.
Sai Baba has a
right. And I put it here, and then he gave me a black thing he did, and then everything became okay. So in the path, this was one of the path which through Nick I got it. And then I wanted to go see this guy, and Nina would let me go.
Why?
Because she was scared the same way my mother was. But Nick went there, met him. Oh. So he asked him, and he said his aunt,
who was negative powers.
He was, but see, and this is what I was reading there. In fact, just yesterday I put that in my blog, that there are 3 goddesses in India. One is called Kali, which is the one Ramakrishna used to worship, and one is Lakshmi, which is the wealth, goddess of wealth, and one is Saraswati, goddess of knowledge. So there are 3 gunas. One is considered bad, worldly, and good, and they all belong to them. But they all 3 are essentials for the world. So you cannot just have good; you have to have bad with the good. So all of that is part of the whole thing. So one has to experience both of them to grow. If you just go in one way, the good way, you will not grow, because you will miss out the other one.
You would know the difference.
Yeah, you would know the difference. So that, I went through that, and so he he said his aunt appeared to him in dream after she had passed away, and he told him to write this book. So that it's the secret of Aghoris. And
Secret of the what?
Aghoris, they call Aghoris, yeah. It's called Kali Rodea, the name of the book is, Very heavy stuff. And it's very bizarre. In other words, they believe, I can't even describe it, so much gruesome, Like this lady, she comes back to earth because her daughter had died and she has become a human being, and she wanted to take her back with her. And then she got bit by a snake. And according to Indian custom, they were going to burn her body. And then she asked this guy, the guy who's the dentist, she asked him that I need help from you. That if they burn her body, it will take 150 years for her to get back to me in the life I want. But if you take her with me to this spot in the hills and chop her body,
Chop what?
I know, that's what I was telling you, the gruesome details, then she can come with us immediately.
That's so crazy.
I know, but see, that is it's written in that book. In the place I went there in Banaras, now I don't know why I'm talking of this side, but I never talked to anybody like that because it's so scary. And they have a temple there, this is called Aghori temple, right where they burn the bodies in Banaras, called Aghori. And what they do is that when a child dies in India, they don't burn it or they don't bury, they just give the body in the water, put it in the water. Yeah. So these Aghoris, they pull the body out, take all the energy from the body, and then they let it go. That's why they put the temple there. So they, according to them, how they are justifying this is, where the human being takes many, many lifetimes to achieve this goal. Aghoris can do it in very short time. First, they live longer. They live like 160 years instead of normal life of us, 70, 80 years.
150 years?
150 or more, yeah, they live. They can change their shape. In fact, Don Juan, which is the other book he got me, Teachings of Don Juan, exactly the same thing he says in the Yaqui Indians. So that is the truth. But people only talk about the other aspect. So it's a lot of mysteries which I'm going to write. But some of them are very controversial. But I know they are true. But there's a guy named Wayne Dyer here, he comes from PBS sometimes. One time I heard his lecture, he was going through all of these in sequence, same way. So I was wondering, how he got that knowledge, same way. So anyway, so what was your question? I forgot. You were asking what the unique path.
Yeah, they all unique and different.
Yeah, but I don't think this guy I know, Tariq, every night he goes to astral world.
He goes to where?
Astral world. There is a world below, above us, which is, most people don't go there. It's a different. So when he goes there, he used to keep a tape recorder which is voice activated.
Yeah.
So he'll record his experiences. So
is that like he does meditation then goes to the
yeah. And so in fact that's what I was writing about him. So one time I had this experience about a body. I was seeing this dream and I was talking to her. And I was describing her the dream and I had lost all my body consciousness. I couldn't feel my body. And I told her, explain to me how I'm lying and how my voice was. It was a deep voice, different than my voice. So I told this to him, and he brought one of his tapes. It was exactly the same voice he had. Yeah, so it is like, so that is like another thing. Then he actually went to one time to the asteroid, and he meets other people who go there, who are living on the earth, but they go there. So he met, then he got this command to go to India, bring this sadhu who's in Himalayas 30 years to bring him here. And he went there and he brought him here, you know. And I met the guy.
She also remember that she went there too.
Oh, he remembered.
Okay.
No, I mean he goes, he remembers, yeah. And then he brought him back here. So all these things, the common people, they don't understand. In fact, they cannot know. I mean, and I never believed all this too before, you know. In fact, when I first saw you and your voice changed to man's voice, you're telling, how are you, my son? She was only 25-year-old then. She said, how are you, my son?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, first time, yeah, he came and told me that your voice changed.
Yeah, everybody say that, like voice, face changes.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Like Aarti remembered that you were like a mom to her.
Yeah, I know.
She felt that, the way you were holding her and all that, and the things you told her. She thought mom came and she called out her sisters and nieces and everybody. See, she comes from a very close-knit family. And her husband doesn't keep relationship with anybody. He's not good in socializing people. So she is really feeling depressed. He doesn't have any friends in her family also. He doesn't have any friends, and she used to be very social. She'll have parties and meet people and have friends. Now she is not, and her kids did not do that well because in the house there was too much trouble going on. Her daughter had a black boyfriend, and and her husband is absolutely racist. So he was having a lot of issues, and my daughter really ran away from home and had a bad tough time, and then 1 year off.
आप कोई अच्छी चीज बोल.
No, I'm just telling about Aarti.
I know, man.
But she went through rough time, a lot of trauma in her life.
I think she's going to reach the end though.
Huh?
You know her lifetime, it's gonna be the end.
Her marriage?
No, not the marriage.
Huh.
Lifetime.
Lifetime?
It's a rough time. It's
Rough time will end, she said.
Soon?
soon.
Oh,
But soon, that means 2-3 years, then it's over.
that'll be good.
Everything inside her is suffering.
Yeah, right now she's really unhappy, very unhappy.
It's because she's creating